which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, has council had the opportunity to review the meeting minutes from February 2nd?
You want me to?
If so, I'll ask for a motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion from Robin, second from Rick. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Any changes to this evening's agenda? Hearing no changes, I'll ask for a motion to approve the set agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Motion from Rick, second from Becky. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Guest and open forum. This evening we have Joel Mary here with us to do a little presentation. Welcome.
Thank you. All right. So good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Joel Mary. I'm here on behalf of the Minnesota Government Finance Officers Association to recognize the city of Becker for its attainment of this great certificate here, the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. It's for the 2022 financial report. And you might be thinking we're in 2024, it's 22, but it's a timing thing. It's the most recently audited financial statements. They're due June 30th, and then the submission is due at that point, and then the GFOA takes about 6 months or so to review, and here we are. So, and I also want to recognize, this is a very special year for the city of Becker, as this is their first annual report to receive this award. So hopefully many more to come. So the award is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. And its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by government and its management. The report's been judged by an impartial panel to meet the high standards of the program, which includes demonstrating constructive spirit of full disclosure to clearly and transparently communicate the city's financial story with a checklist of over 600 items that have to be completed. And of the 854 cities in Minnesota, there is about 130 that achieve this accomplishment. So it's a real big accomplishment. And I believe, I don't know what your financial reports were before, but I believe the financial report this year was 159 pages. So lots of good reading for anyone in this room who hasn't read it. 159 pages of fun, we like to say in the finance world. So, yeah, so congratulations. I want to recognize Mark and his great finance team for all their hard work and effort that goes into achieving this accomplishment. So, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Anyone else for guest and open forum? Seeing none, we'll move on to committee reports. Budget and finance.
Budget and Finance met right after our last council meeting, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks and a day. We went through the standard financials. Everything was as expected. Past due utilities are about even with where they were previous month. We talked a lot about the facility bonding for the new, or for the work done here and at the police station. We talked at length about that. We went through the work comp and property casualty insurance renewal, and we talked about audit update and transfers, and that was it.
All right. Fire board.
Fire board, we met February 21st. We reviewed the financials and then went through the red path policies. And there was 24 calls in January total.
All right.
Just want me to do golf?
Sure.
Okay. So golf committee, we met on the 27th. Some things happening over there. We're going to be talking about the replacement plan for the cart path, which is actually in our agenda tonight. They had the dueling pianos, and just wanted to mention they sold out. And what they've been doing the last couple of years is they had negotiations with the tips for the piano players to contribute to a nonprofit. And so Becker Backpack Buddies got that this year, and they were awarded $1,215. It looks like I don't know if you guys noticed that they opened up this last weekend, and they had 635 rounds played this weekend,
Wow.
which is wild. They open again this Wednesday, today. I keep thinking it's Tuesday.
I know.
Sorry, guys, it's Wednesday.
You're
I'm off.
you're off also.
And I'm just gonna kind of play it by ear with the weather and what they're gonna do. So just kind of pay attention on social media and emails with that. And a reminder, there's their open house on the 23rd. And then they'll also have that same sip and shop that they do every year with just different boutique stuff, and that's about it.
All right. How about Planning Commission?
Planning, we met last Monday. We had a public hearing that was scheduled for Dairy Queen sign height variance that was tabled until the next month. There's some stuff they had to get in for that yet, and that was the main item of business.
All right. And joint planning was canceled. So any other committees that met? Okay. Board committee and consultant reports. The 2024 street improvement plans and specs bid authorization, Mr. Knutson. How'd I do?
I'm slowing down in my old
You
age.
gotta
I'm
sit
kind
closer.
of breathing heavy here. I got to sit closer, I think. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As the Mayor said, we're here tonight to talk about our street improvement projects for this coming season. If you recall, in November of last year, you gave us approval to go out for plans and specs to do the engineering work to get us to this point. So the streets that we're looking at is actually broken down into streets. We've got a couple of other things on the base bid as well, but I'll run through the streets very quickly. All of the streets that we're looking at is we're doing a full reclaim on the bituminous and a full repave. We've entertained maybe some of the mill and overlays, but it's not something we've done in the community, and we're not looking to do it right now. We feel the best bang for our dollar is to replace these streets like we have been over the last several years. So the streets that we're proposing this year are Diane Avenue, Jenkins Drive, Warren Avenue, Monroe Drive, Monroe Court, Forest Drive from Brant Avenue to Jenkins Drive, Carroll Drive from Abbey Avenue to Carroll Court, Carroll Court, Brenda Boulevard from Edgewood Street to Joseph Avenue, Johnson Street, 13th Avenue, Jefferson Street, Lobelia Street, 41st Avenue, and 153rd from 41st Avenue to Opal Street. One of the things that you'll notice is we're kind of jumping around a few different areas of town, but what we've done with our engineers and as staff is we've tried to identify our worst streets and still kind of keep them somewhat clumped together so we could go in and attack those streets. And so this is a pretty big swath this year, but any of our streets that are ranked a 1 or less, 0 being it should have been replaced before, are identified here, and this will put us in a pretty good spot going forward so we can kind of pull that construction scope down a little bit in coming years. So with this as well, what we're looking at, there's 2 backup generators that are planned for economy of scale and the engineering purposes. What we've done is we've put those projects in this base bid as well. You may not think that they go in, coincide together, but we're looking at our well house number 3 and lift station number 7 to get backup generation on site. If you recall, all of our new lift stations that we go forward with and our most recent well house, we put backup generation as part of the overall construction process. So due to inclement weather, power outages, or what have you, unreliable power potentially in our area, we have on-site backup generation that we have continuous coverage, especially with lift station 7, because it feeds a pretty big area of our community that we can't go without that service. So it puts us in a good spot. We do have those called out in respective CIPs, but they are part of that base bid as well. Okay. One of the alternates that we're looking at is a possible project with the school along 3rd Street, adjacent to Cobinger Park. The school has their baseball field over there. Parking has been an issue since the inception of the park and the baseball field being over there. So what we've done is Greg has reached out to the school, letting them know that we're looking at a parking project over there. So we're doing the design work, and again, the cost is much better for us to put it in this project, and we could control the project. This project would only move forward once we see the numbers, if it should go out for bid, and if the school agrees to the payment of that. So that would be a further discussion that Greg will have with Jeremy over there once we actually see bid numbers going forward. But that's why we called it out specifically. So if they see that and want to do that, we'll look to do it. But we need to address something with the parking over there. It's been, like I said, an issue forever. Puts a lot of pressure on PD to be the enforcers to not only the school, but also to the people visiting our community. So we think it's a viable option, but again, more to be said once we see the numbers back with them. Alternate B, excuse me, for this is resurfacing the parking lot for Cobinger Park and Pleasant Valley Park. Again, that's from our Parks CIP budget, and it's dedicated there as well. So with that, we did review this at our February 14th Public Works Committee meeting. They gave approval to bring it here tonight to discuss it. We're not spending any money right now. Any movement tonight would just give us authorization to accept these plans and get it out for bid. In the interest of full disclosure, because our meeting was moved up today, we did put an ad out to the paper because the deadline for the paper to publish is today. By placing it there, I can revoke it. I can't add it after the fact. So we did put the announcement there so the paper does have it. If you table this or decline to move on this, I just need to call them and rescind that. But just so you guys are aware, we're not getting over our skis on it, but we're just trying to make sure we're checking all the boxes. So with that, I'll stand for any questions. Otherwise, we're looking for a motion and a second to move on Resolution 2412.
Weren't we talking about the back lot here too?
We were, but as we got further discussions on that, a couple of things that came up, one of them being the entrance and the overall construction side of it. My fear always when we have multiple contractors working on a project, it's easy to start pointing fingers on that. And if this project goes through, we didn't want to make an assumption that anything's going to happen at this property. If it does go through, they've got to put a drive lane and access into the parking garage over here. That could commingle with this. It could delay the contractors working on that back project. So in light of that, what we thought we should do is to just table that. If this project goes through for a remodel, put base course down on that and then rework both parking lots in 2025 and do a final wear course together as part of that project. And then keep the contractors somewhat segregated. And then if they're tearing up, these parking lots are in dire need of replacement. So instead of having them scuff up or interfere on new paving, or we stall out a timing for a contractor here, we could see an increase in costs. So we just thought we'll patch them together and keep them intact for this year and then look to move if this gets moved forward as far as a remodel here. We'll do those with our 2025 street projects.
So last summer, the projects, there was a couple that got delayed.
Yes.
Can we make sure we talk to whoever
Yes.
our bidders here that they'll maybe do them be a little more quicker?
That was, what we'll do is we'll pay close attention. The primary reason for that was one of the subcontractors on the project wasn't probably as prepared as they need to be and didn't have a big enough crew to attack the project the way we had in past years. So we'll put a little closer detail to looking at who the subcontractors are, in particular the dirt contractor, and make sure we got a rhythm with them, to your point, so we can get this thing. Once we open them up, we want to keep moving, and we didn't do that last year. We lost about 5 weeks in the process, which left a lot of dirty streets out there for folks. So yeah, we don't want to see that again.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2412, accepting the plans and specs for the 24th Street Improvement Project and authorizing bid advertisement for the project.
I'll second that.
Motion from Rick, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Cart Path Improvement Plan, Mr. Knutson.
Well, I'm standing in for Jason tonight, so I can't take much of the credit for this. Jason has done a wonderful job of putting together a plan. It was reviewed at Golf Committee a couple of times and reviewed at exec session. So Jason has done, our cart paths are original to the course and are in definite need of repair and replacement. He's come together and put in a pretty good plan that we can kind of work to our farthest regions of the golf course and work ourselves back to the clubhouse, so we don't have to pave over or drive over replaced paths in future years. So this year, we reached out to 3 different contractors. Last year, if you recall, Hanson Paving did some work for us at the course, did a really good job for us. And what they did is they put us on a basically our cart paths are typically 8 feet wide, maybe 8.5 feet wide, and they give us a linear footage breakdown. And so we kind of back into what our budgeted number is. So when you see their bid coming in at $100,000, we match the linear footage that we could get out of the project to the point here. We tried to compare them out. Last year, they were low bid on our project. We reached out to Oman Brothers, who didn't respond. We reached out to Erickson Asphalt and to Aurora. And both of them in your packets, you'll see that they declined to bid the project. One of them said, I don't know how you're getting it done that way, because the bituminous for the project in their mind was closer to $75,000 to $80,000 just for what we're asking for. So made us feel good about what we're doing, and Hanson has done a good job for us. So tonight what we're doing, if you recall, we've got 4 years planned at this project, and it's extensive work, but we've already started on some of it. We're trying to use our public works crews where we can to take up some of the old stuff. That's not going to get replaced, so we can work on the seating and the refurbishment of the turf there. This bid, we could have gotten more done if we would take out the reclaim, but we want them to actually reclaim some of the trails are getting repaved so they can build the base back up, because in some cases we need to build those trails up a little bit and make sure that base is suitable for new paving. So what we wanted to do was to make sure that they're accounting for that, and we feel very comfortable with what the proposal is here. So tonight we're looking for approval to move forward with the cart paths and awarding that bid to Hanson Paving to do this work in 2024.
I'll make a motion to adopt the cart path improvement plan and execute the 2024 portion of it.
Second.
Motion from Robin, second from Becky. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Administrator and staff reports. City Code 6.27 Amendment, Massage Establishment. Mr. LaRude.
Mayor Bertram, City Council members, at the February 6th council meeting, the council received a request to extend the hours, the opening hours, Monday through Friday for licensed establishments. The council gave direction to staff to come back with a proposed ordinance. So the ordinance has been proposed to be amended as appears in the packet. The licensed massage facilities on Monday through Friday can be open at 6 a.m. Until 9 p.m. and there would be no change on the weekend hours. I visited with the city attorney about this. The city's ordinance was based on another city's, and he saw no issue with proposing a change like this. And so with that, I'll be happy to answer questions. The requested action tonight is approving ordinance 282 second series, revising section 627, and then a second motion and second to approve ordinance 282 second series summary for publication purposes.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 282 second series, revising section 6.27, subdivision 11, paragraph 10 of the Becker City Code, changing the hours of operation for licensed massage establishments.
Second.
Motion from Rick, second from Robin. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 282 second series, summary for publication purposes.
Second.
Motion from Rick, second from Robin. Those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Archery range request for proposal, Mr. LaRude.
Mayor Bertram and city council members, about a year ago, the city staff and council came together to come up with some potential projects for ARPA funds that were remaining from federal COVID dollars. There are $472,000 approximately of funds available. Council gave direction for 3 activities with that money. Becker Community Center, which included the pavilion, sidewalk, playground surface, and senior center improvements. The Sherburne Avenue Trail connection between Edgewood and 103rd, that was for a $75,000 pledge or contribution. And then archery range, estimated $100,000 of ARPA funds. The community center project is proceeding, it's well underway, and so that is gonna be on budget. The $75,000 for the grant, we pursued another grant that covered 100% of that cost, and so we're still waiting to hear back on that. I anticipate we'll hear back fairly soon, on that. And if that's the case, that $75,000 will not need to be committed there. And, there was also some unspent, funds as well, so, regardless of, where the archery range ends up, the council will still have some decisions to make about committing those funds, before the end of the year. So I've started work last year. Winter got, caught up, with us, and I was relying on some help too, and those folks got busy. But I would like to recognize Brent Baldry, Chad Dahlheimer, and Jeff Knutson at Country Lumber for helping put the RFP together. There's 3 parts of the proposal. It's gonna be a design build. We set out some kind of broad parameters of where things are, how many shooting ranges we wanted to have, and raised platform and so forth. And then it'll be incumbent upon the bidder to submit a proposal to do that. So we broke it out 3 ways. There'll be earth moving as one scope of work, concrete as another, and then carpentry as a third. And so tonight's action is requested to just approve the RFP and allow us to send it out. I believe they come back at the end of March, so we would look at bringing this back to council for consideration at the April 2nd meeting, for your consideration. And so with that, I'll be happy to answer questions you have. Would you like specifics about the range, or I think it's pretty clearly with the pictures and explanation what we were looking to do.
These are typically unmanned. We don't have to staff them, correct?
That's correct. This would not have a lock gate or anything. It would be open, all of the time. As I said in the memo too, the county originally was in discussions about contributing. They have some other park needs that they are gonna be moving forward with, so we won't be able to rely on their contribution. So unknown exactly where we're gonna come in on the proposal and what funds have been committed so far. So just wanted to make you aware of that.
I guess I'd be, we've talked about this before, I'd be okay going out for the RFP, but, I mean, this could be an opportunity too, if, there's a lot of folks, that may want to contribute to this, like we've had partnerships before with the basketball courts and stuff like that, where we've had, the communities, come together, and so being there's a lot of construction, we have a lot of construction folks here, and, some folks that, their kids shoot archery and things like that are on the team, so there could be an opportunity for, stuff like that too, so I want to make sure we, make those opportunities available.
Yep.
If they're,
You bet.
so. Otherwise, I'll make a motion to, approve, the archery range RFP as it's, presented here, to go out for the RFP.
Second,
RFP out.
Motion from Rick, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Consent agenda, Mr. LaRude.
Mayor Bertram and city council members, items for approval on tonight's consent agenda include the revised hiring and termination report for Becker Community Center and Pebble Creek Golf Course, declaring surplus property, which is a forfeited vehicle, and ordering its disposal, and accept the 2024 Sherburne County SCORE Funding Grant Agreement for Recycling Day in the amount of $4,248. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion from Robin, second from Mike. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor may state aye.
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 Opposed, carried. Payment of the bills.
Motion to pay the bills?
I'll second.
Motion from Rick, second from Becky. Those in favor can state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Anniversary announcements for the month of March. We have two individuals. Mark Lucht is our building official, and he's celebrating his first year with us. And then our very own deputy clerk, Susan, is celebrating her 5th year with us. So congratulations. Does council have anything else for the betterment of Becker? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second?
Motion from Mike, second from Rick. Those in favor may state aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 5:25 PM.